Hi guys, happy Friday. Happy Friday. We are going to be making a plastic bag wreath today. So what you need is your stack of plastic bags, and you also need your wire hanger. So just make sure you need a hanger that's made from wire. You can't use a plastic hanger or the velvet hangers, or I guess they're velvet, or they're whatever. You can't use those. You have to use one that's fully wire, not just the wire on the top where you hang it. You need it to be the whole thing wire, similar to this, or it might be silver, it might be gold. You won't really see it, so it doesn't really matter what color it is. So I have just this one here, and then I have my stack of plastic bags. I'll give it about like 30 more seconds for some people to log on, and then we are going to go into this. All right. So all right, so let me turn this so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. The first thing you're going to do is kind of set your bags to the side because you don't need them right now. We're going to do a step first here. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get this bottom part of your hanger to be as circular as possible. So we're just going to kind of pull, bend, manipulate it a little bit so that it's in the shape of a circle. Now, if it's not perfect, that's all right. This top part is where it kind of gets tricky, but you're going to bend it in a way so it's as circular or ovalish as possible. Just going to pull on the ends of the hanger until you have it as circular as possible. Mine's not fully circular yet. It's getting there. It might take a little bit of time, and that's okay. But ultimately, this is going to be the frame of our wreath. Okay. Like I said, if it's not a perfect circle, that's all right. Not a big deal. Doesn't need to be perfect. That's pretty good though. Okay. This top part, it's okay if you can't get that completely separated. I don't know if I can get mine to be continuing the circle there. You might need someone super strong to help you out with that. Okay, just it around. So this is going to be your hook to hang the hanger up. Once we have it completely done, you can just put a nail on the wall, or have, with permission, don't just put nails on the wall. Or, if you have a door hanger or one of those things that hangs over the door that you could put a wreath on, you can use that as well. If you don't want to use this and you'd rather just hang it by the circular part of the wreath, you can do that as well. You can bend this to kind of tuck it out of the way where you can't see it. But for now, this is going to be our hook. Okay. So once you have that in a circle, you can kind of set this aside for now, because we won't be doing anything with this until we have all of our plastic bags cut. So once you have it as circular as you can, go ahead and set that aside until we're ready to use that. All right. So once you have your frame of the wreath all done, you are going to grab one of your plastic bags and you're going to lay it as flat as you can on the floor or the table, wherever you're working. So just lay it out. You want those ends there tucked under, and you just want it to kind of lay like that square on the bottom. Okay. All right. lay it out. If it has holes in the bag, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Those are typically bags that we can't really use for anything else. Like we can't really use a trash bag with holes in it. So those are actually the best ones to use for this project because we don't want to just throw them in the trash. We want to reuse them as something else. So we are going to cut our pieces that we're going to put on the wreath itself. So what we're going to do, you're going to start with the side with the handles. You're going to turn that towards you because we're going to cut those off. So you're just going to lay it flat. And you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut across the top to take those handles off. Okay. Cut across the top to take those handles off. All right. And you can set those aside for now. We can actually use these pieces for our wreath if we want to. I'm going to save those for a second. If you want to use those pieces for the wreath, all you have to do is just kind of pull the handles apart so that they're straight line pieces. We'll set those aside for now. Okay, once you cut the handles off, you're going to flip your bag the other way towards you and you're going to cut the bottom off. You're just going to cut a tiny strip to kind of separate the bottom. So you're just going to cut a straight line across the bottom. This can be a thin line just so long as the pieces kind of separate from each other. That's what you want. You don't want to cut too much off the bottom because you want to use that plastic. So you're just going to cut a straight line as straight as possible. This is kind of another one of those projects where you won't really notice if your lines aren't completely straight. So it's not a big deal if it's a little frayed. All right. So you just want to be able to open up the bag and peer inside. If you can do that, then you're good to go. Once that's all done, you're going to separate the bag like this so that it's separated. Okay. And it's just like kind of like one big circle. And I'm going to do this like 5 or 6 times so you guys can see just what you have to do. So if you're falling behind or I'm going too fast, I will do this a couple more times so you can see it. Okay. You're going to separate and then you're just going to cut once down the middle. Okay. And now you have 2 rectangular pieces on your bag. Okay. You're going to stack them on top of each other and lay them flat. And then you're going to fold them hamburger style twice. So you're going to fold hamburger style. I guess it's hamburger then hot dog at that point. So hamburger style once. And then fold over one more time. Okay. And then you are just going to cut straight lines right down. They don't have to be too wide. They can be about 1/2 inch or 1 inch wide. You're just going to cut those pieces. Right down the middle. They also don't have to be even. You really only need pieces that are about this wide. Okay. They don't have to be even. Like if they're not exact every time you make the cuts, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. And you're just going to keep on going. You will have to do this a couple times just to have enough pieces to kind of fill your wreath. But one bag is a good starting place. This is when you get into a groove too with the plastic, your scissors will kind of start to glide. You can let them go as well. All right, so once you have these pieces cut, you're going to notice that as you unravel them, you have two long pieces like this. Okay, you're just going to take those and snip them in half. It's a lot of cuts. All right, so you ultimately just want pieces of plastic that are about yay big. Okay, so you're just going to trim them. Okay. So you're just going to unravel them out, stack them on top of each other, and just snip down the middle. It's not a big deal if they're not even. You can go back and make them even once you attach them to your hanger. At this point, it's just really important that we have enough plastic to get that on the wreath itself. So again, you're just going to unravel them, snip in half, and stack them up. Okay, so I'm going to go through, and you're just going to do that for all of your pieces here. I'm going to go through the process of cutting it again so that you guys, if you lost me or if I was moving too fast, I'm going to go through it again. Okay, so you're just going to take your bag, lay it flat. Take your bag, lay it flat. You want it to ultimately kind of look like a square on the bottom here. You want those ends tucked in. Okay. You're going to turn the handles to face you. And you're going to snip the handles off in a straight line across the top of the bag. Okay. If you want to save the handles as a piece, you can do that. Just rip them apart and set them to the side. And just set them to the side. All right. Once you have the handles cut off, you're going to turn the bag towards you again, and you're going to snip the bottom off. Again, it doesn't have to be even. You just want a small piece off the bottom. Okay. Once you have the bottom snipped off, you're going to open your bag up. Make sure that it's all good. Okay. And you're going to take your scissors and just cut right down the middle. Okay. So you open the bag up and cut right down the middle. And then you're going to open your pieces up and lay them on top of each other. Lay it flat out again. Fold hamburger style. then hot dog style. Okay. And then you're just going to make your cuts up the center. And set them to the side. You'll eventually get it to the point where your scissors can kind of just glide without snipping too much, and that's fine. Kind of like cutting lamination where your scissors just kind of glide. Like I said, these pieces don't need to be super thick. They can be pretty thin, you know, half an inch wide. And this might be a project that, you know, you work a little bit at each day, because you do need a decent amount of plastic cut for this. And it does take a little bit of patience to kind of compile it. So it might be like one of those projects that you do a little bit a day until you have it done. Not a big deal. Okay, pieces. Once you have your pieces kind of cut here, you're going to open them up. And you're just going to snip them right down the middle, right in half. You just set your plastic pieces aside. Open it up, cut down the middle, and set it aside. Okay, I'm going to show you how to cut this one, or fold it and cut it one more time, just in case you're kind of watching me. I'm moving too fast, whatever the case is. This is one that my dog destroyed. I walked into my office the other day, and there were all these plastic bags all over the floor, and some of them were destroyed, and this is one of them. I was putting aside my plastic bags so that I had them, and he decided he wanted to rip them up. All right, so again, you're going to lay the bag out so that it's flat and kind of square on the bottom. You're going to turn the handles towards you, and that's going to be the first thing that you cut off. So you're just going to cut off the handles. Save the handles for this project, open them up, and set them aside. Okay. Once you have the handles off, just kind of peer in and make sure it opens up. Then you're going to flip to the other way. And you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim a small piece off the bottom. So you're just going to take it and cut a straight line, or as straight as you can make it, on the bottom. Okay. Open it up. Make sure it opens. You're going to pull the bag apart. You're going to lay it flat. And then you're going to cut right up the middle. Okay. Once you cut right up the middle for the bag, you're going to open it up. Lay them flat like rectangles. They might not be exact, and that's okay. Mine aren't exact. It'll still work out just fine. You're going to fold hamburger style. And then you're going to fold hot dog style, so that you have a long, thin piece of plastic. And then you're going to cut 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces right up. 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces. You're going to cut right up. Now, I would do this, 5 or 6 more times, maybe even 7 or 8 more times for all of the bags, just to make sure that you have enough. You can always go back and cut more at the end if you find that, you've been cut enough plastic or some plastic pieces rip and you need more. You can always cut more at the end, but, to kind of get yourself in a good rhythm, you might want to cut a ton at the beginning and then go back and cut more at the end if you really need it. So that's the process of getting your plastic ready. Oh, I missed a step. Hold on. Once you have this all cut up here, you're going to open it up completely. And you're just going to take the long strips and you're going to cut it in half. Open it up completely. Cut in half. This video will be up for you to watch over again. If you feel that, I'm moving too fast, you can pause after each step. So it will still be up for you to kind of see. All right. So once you go through the process and you cut all this plastic and you have it all ready to go, those of you that are tuning in live with me right now, you can actually just kind of take a break from cutting here and take your hanger. Okay. And I'm just going to show you the process of attaching this on. So you're going to take your hanger and you're going to set it down. Okay. You're going to take one piece of plastic. If you want to double it up, you can. You're just going to have to cut more plastic for yourself. You're going to take it and anywhere on your hanger, you're just going to tie one knot. Okay. And you're just going to move it right up to the top there. And you're going to keep going. That's why I said this project's it might be like one of those things that's just like a little bit at a time each day. You're just going to take it, tie a knot, move it up. And you're just going to keep on going. And you're just going to press it towards each other. Okay. You do want to open it up. Now you might notice like, okay, this isn't exactly like this is kind of too long for me, and that's okay. Once it starts to fill in, you might see that you actually like the length of it. If you don't like the length of it and you want to cut it shorter, just take your plastic pieces and cut them in half one more time and use the shorter pieces. So just take your plastic pieces that you ended with. You'll have smaller pieces of plastic and just use that and knot it. Okay. You might like that a little bit better. You can always also go through the process and then just cut and trim it at the end. So you could always take it and just kind of trim it to where you like at the end. But I wouldn't do that until the very, 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 very end. Once you start getting plastic on here, because like at the beginning, when you first tied it on, you're going to see like, it's not really staying on very nicely. Once you really start filling this up, it will get really filled in and look nice. Okay, so you're just going to keep going. You're going to take your plastic. The handles are actually a little bit thicker, so they'll fill a decent amount of space for you. But you're just going to keep on going. You're going to tie a knot. If you, like I said, if you want to double it up, you can. So you can just take 2 pieces and just tie a knot that way. Whatever it is that you want to do. It's your wreath. And you're just going to keep on going. Like I said, it will eventually get really filled in. You want to press it tight against it so that you have a ton of plastic there. Okay, to kind of keep that, fill that space in. I started trimming mine, so I'm just going to keep on trimming it so you guys can see. But once you have like all these pieces filled in and you have it filled the whole way in, you'll see that it starts to really fill up quickly. But you can do a single, you could double them up if you'd like. If you double it up, it makes the knot a little bit bigger, so it will fill in a little bit faster, but it really doesn't matter what you choose to do. You're gonna need a decent amount of plastic. So I cut 3 bags, I think. So this is just 1 bag. I'm not even completely done this bag yet, but this is probably like a quarter of the bag. So it's getting me there. You're just gonna keep on going. I'm not gonna sit here and do the whole thing with you because I'm sure that you guys are also gonna want to take breaks. This is a project that's gonna take a little bit longer, and you might want to do it over a couple of days and just have your stuff set there when you're bored or if it gets rainy. You know, if you don't want to just kind of, you don't feel like watching TV or you want to do something while you're watching TV, this is like the perfect project to do it. I would just kind of put all your pieces on first and then do the trimming at the end to kind of see like where you want your wreath to fall. But eventually it'll all kind of fill in and you'll see that it gets really puffy. Once you have your wreath completely done, you can add decorations to it. If you're making it to be a Christmas wreath or a holiday wreath, you can add like ornaments to it. You can add flowers to it, whatever it is that you want to do. It's completely up to you. Just make sure that you are, you know, pressing it in. You guys can kind of see the back of my wreath here. I'm pressing the plastic up towards against it so it's not leaving gaps, and that gives it that full look. Okay, so you're just gonna keep on going. And like I said, this might be something that you do over a couple of days. This will probably be something that I do over a couple of days, just because this, sometimes I need to take breaks, and that's okay. This doesn't have to be completely finished overnight. But you can decorate it, you can change it up a little bit, adding different things to the wreath for the different seasons can be done. If you want it to be just plain white or just plain brown, you can kind of toss the pieces that are, well, don't toss, recycle them. Recycle the pieces that are have the words on them, or you can, you know, find a different project that you could use them for. If you trim it down a little bit, it's not going to be something that where the color of the bag stands out. So if you have like a bag with red writing, it's not too obvious. It's not too, you guys can see mine here, like it's not overbearing. You can kind of see it, and as you fill it in, you know, the color of the bag is the color that really kind of stands out. So if you have green grocery bags, and you can also mix it up, so it'll kind of give it like a polka dotty look if you have like different color bags that you're kind of mixing together. If you like the look of just the one color, that's cool too. And you're just going to keep on going. That is, once you have kind of like it all wrapped the whole way around, that is the end of your wreath. But again, you just want to make sure that you're pushing the knots towards each other to kind of give it that full look so that you're not seeing gaps. Because if you don't press it and you're just kind of filling it in as you go, you'll notice that, like, yeah, you know, it moves a little bit more, but it also just is not as full as if you have it pressed up. Okay. And then once you're all done, you're going to use your hook to hang it, and you have a wreath made of plastic bags, made of recycled materials, which is pretty cool. So all of those times that you're not sure what to do with a grocery bag, or you have a ton of them before you started using recycled bags, now you have a thing for them to use them for besides trash can liners for your bathroom. Okay, and that's it. When you guys finish your wreaths, I would love to see pictures. Please feel free to have your parent or guardian text them to me, or you can send them in to rusticraftsandcalligraphy@gmail.com, and I would love to see them. In the meantime, I think I'm going to continue to kind of cut some plastic here for me for my wreath, and then eventually take a little bit of a break because I don't think I'm finishing this tonight. This might be something that takes me a couple days over multiple breaks, and that's okay. So please don't get frustrated if you don't finish it. This is one of those projects that takes a little bit longer than usual projects that we've been making, and you just gotta have a little bit of patience, and it'll eventually get finished. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to be sending out the email for next week for week 3's projects tonight. I can give you a little bit of a sneak preview of what projects we will be doing, and kind of tell you some of the things that you will need in preparation for next week. So some of the things that we will be doing, we will be making a pillow cover out of our old t-shirts. So you will need an old t-shirt. You will need bottle caps. So any type of bottle cap, whether it be like a soda cap or a like a Mexican Coke top, those the bottle caps, beer bottle caps, any of those all work great. We will be making another wreath out of a toilet paper roll. So you'll need like 4 or 5 paper towel toilet paper rolls. We'll make that towards the end of the week so that you'll have time to gather those. Either work fine, toilet paper or paper towels. We can use those, no problem. We will be using a plastic gum container. So those extra gum containers, we'll be making a item holder out of those. So one of those like extra gum, or the ones that have the plastic lid. And then we will also be making our cork board, our bulletin board, out of our wine corks. So that'll be either Thursday or Friday, as well as the wreath later in the week. So you have enough time to gather those materials. But for that one, you will need the wine corks and a decent amount, as well as like a cookie cutter, not a cookie cutter, cookie container, those Christmas like aluminum can containers, either one of those, or you could use any type of like Tupperware container. So like a plastic Tupperware, like the square ones, you could use that as well. Either works fine. It's just going to be something that kind of holds up the wine corks so that we can assemble it for our cork board. And I will send more information about that tonight, so you will have that in your emails. But I look forward to the crafts that we're making next week, and I am excited and can't wait to see you guys and all the stuff that you are working on. Please continue to send the pictures as you make things and let me know. Let me see your pictures of your projects, and I will see you guys next week. We will be back Monday at 4 o'clock. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.